Cruella is the latest live-action adaptation from Disney. It stars Emma Stone, Emma Thompson, Mark Strong, Paul Walter Hauser and Joel Fry, and is directed by Craig Gillespie. Before we get into this, don't forget to hit that like button down below. It does wonders in getting my content out there, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to keep up to date with all my content. Based on the classic Disney animation 101 Dalmatians, Cruella tells of the rebellious early days of the notorious and notoriously fashionable villain. Set in 1970s London amidst the punk rock revolution, a young grifter named Estella is caught up in a course of events and revelations that causes her to embrace her wicked side and become the raucous, fashionable and revenge-bent Cruella de Vil. Alright, we are finally here. We have reached our annual Disney live-action remake, reimagining, reboot, whatever label you want to slap on this thing. We're finally here. And we are tracing back over old ground, so it seems. Of course, one of the earliest Disney live-action remakes was 101 Dalmatians, back in the 1990s. That did so well. There was a sequel, 102 Dalmatians, and now we are back here, like almost 30 years later. Again, I'm really showing my age in these videos because, you know, those movies came out in my childhood, and we're back here again, going back over the story of Cruella de Vil, but with a little bit of with a different slant. This isn't your traditional 101 Dalmatians, retelling. This goes back a little bit earlier. We get to see the, I guess, the evolution, the origin of Cruella de Vil. What made her this way? And let me tell you, we are revisiting this character in a really unique, really entertaining, and really, really exciting way. I'm sure you've heard all kinds of things about how big and bombastic and vibrant and explosive this film is, and absolutely everything that you are hearing is absolutely correct. This is a movie that is told through this lens of the fashion world, so of course everything is extravagant, everything is incredibly overblown, it's excessive, but it really, really works. And it adds this interesting layer to this character that you never really kind of thought about. And it takes you through this really exciting story, but by the end of it, you're like, you know what, we did need that story. This is a story we needed. Because this is a multifaceted, multi-layered character that really does have so much more to her than that kind of evil facade that you see. The movie never really takes itself incredibly serious. So that's the thing that really makes this movie just completely work. Because this is such a wacky and over-the-top character, and she always has been, even since the animation, that the movie needs to have that kind of air to it. It has to be wacky, it has to be energetic and over-the-top. The weirdest thing about this movie is that you somehow walk out of this feeling a lot of sympathy for Cruella and really, really liking her and really liking this character. And she's evil. She is wickedly, she is one of Disney's most wickedly evil villains ever. This is a woman who in the original story dog naps 101 dogs for the purposes of skinning them alive and making a bunch of coats. I mean, you can't get much more evil than that. Yet somehow this movie makes you sympathize for this character and really want to go along with her for her plight. Of course, it gets quite dark. This is actually a really quite a dark and sick film. It manages to go down this real kind of wicked rabbit hole. Because it doesn't take itself so seriously, it does it through this really wickedly, sickly, sardonic kind of black comedy. And I think a lot of people are really going to get a kick out of it because it is so much fun. And I think it's actually something completely unique to one of these Disney live-action remakes. And at that, so much of this movie really is unique. Cruella is a completely new, completely original story. I mean, we're not, again, going back over 101 Dalmatians. We're telling the story that leads up to it. And in doing that, the movie does manage to find itself really experimenting and doing a lot of stuff that is unique and is original. Now, also a lot of what makes this movie work as well as it does is the performers that we've got in here. Of course, we've got Emma Stone as Cruella de Vil, and she absolutely kills it. She is terrific in this role. She is an incredibly talented actress who can not only do drama, but can do comedy very well. Of course, we've got Emma Thompson in here playing the Baroness, who is, I guess, kind of a rival of Cruella for various reasons I won't go into because I don't want to spoil the movie too much. But Emma Thompson absolutely slays in the film as well. We haven't had a lot of villain characters from Emma Thompson before, so when we see her in one of these kind of evil roles, it's so much fun, and you can tell that she is having so much fun getting into this character and just doing something a little bit different. Of course, the music, everyone's talking about the music. There are so many big 1970s kind of punk rock, pop hits that kind of come in and out of this movie. There's a lot of big montage moments, and again, in some movies this can get a bit much. It can be a bit too much overload. It's like, oh, too much music, too many songs, too many, as like the buzzword is, needle drops these days. But this movie, again, in the fact that it never takes itself too seriously, it knows what it's doing. It knows that in part it is a bit of a farce, it is a bit of a parody. These musical moments just work so much, and it really just does add to this really fun, energetic air of the movie and just keeps it driving. And I think this movie is just that. It is just an enormous explosion of fun kind of in every single element that it delivers to the table. If anything, if you want to make any real comparisons, I think this movie borrows heavily from 1970s crime and espionage films. There's a lot of like Italian Job and those early James Bond movies are kind of bundled into this. And because it is set in the 1970s, it is able to kind of fit in with that kind of gritty, dark genre really well. I mean, you look back at those movies and they are all similarly, they're dark, they're gritty, and they have a lot of dark humor bundled into them. So this movie really does lean heavily into all the influences from the era, whether it's the movies or the music, and I feel like it does it so well. This is just such a beautiful, again, I used the word kind of farce or parody earlier, but I also think it's a really beautiful homage to these kinds of films as well. And again, when I first heard they were doing Cruella again, I was the skeptic. I was the one who's going, why are we doing this again? I understand why they're doing it again because they brought such a wonderful take to this character and to this world. And come to the end of it, I am kind of thinking like, I want them to redo 101 Dalmatians with Emma Stone in the role. Like, do it, because I just know they can do something really special with it. Again, I'm so surprised how terrific this movie was. This is so much fun, and I think, I really think I have to maybe think on it a bit, but I think this is probably like real top tier Disney live action whatever film for me, because so much fun. I'm still buzzing. I mean, I got out of the cinema probably maybe an hour and a half ago, and I'm still buzzing off it. It's such a fun movie. If you're sitting on the fence, go and check it out, because I think you're really going to love it. And at that, I'll happily be giving Cruella a 4.5 out of 5. Cruella is the most stylish and extravagant Disney live-action reimagining to date. It brings a unique charm and flair to the story with wicked style, bombastic fun, and sickly twisted humour. Emma Stone is absolutely devilish and delivers the powerhouse performance of her career. Cruella opens in Australian cinemas on the 27th of May and then opens in global cinemas on the 28th of May. It also lands on Disney Plus with Premier Access on the 28th of May globally. So you do have those two options to view the movie depending on which you prefer or the situation that you are in currently. Thanks to my amazing friends over at Disney once again, and thanks to everybody out there for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Hey everyone, if you haven't yet, smash that big old subscribe button up on your screen to keep up to date with all my content, and hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to check me out on social media, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon for as little as $1 a month for exclusive videos, early access content, and to get your name up on the screen. Thanks again for watching.